Welcome to the Panthers Postgame Show. Kristen Balboni here with Panthers legends Al Wallace and Mike Tolbert. Guys, just want to get a quick thought from you. First of all, Mike, I'll start with you. Overall impressions of the Panthers' Week 1 loss to the Jaguars.
You know, I thought the Panthers did some things really well, but I also thought they had a lot of times where they could have been a little bit better. You know, I think it's Week 1, so we can't panic just yet, but time's coming for it.
And Al, what about you?
Yeah, I know the guys in the locker room are incredibly disappointed. All the work that goes into the preparation to get to this point just leads to that phrase, right? Just disappointing. But like Mike said, I think a lot of good work and good teachable tape on the film for Dave Canales to get back in the lab with these guys and work these things out before Week 2.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Al, because we are going to take a look at the tape right now, a quick recap of what happened in this Panthers-Jags game. Panthers starting the first game on the road. You see Dave Canales, Liam Cohen there. Liam Cohen, the first-year head coach. And guys, the Jags get the ball first, and it was really all Brenton Strange on this first drive. How did the Panthers defense allow Brenton Strange to get going?
Well, I think they took advantage, the Jaguars took advantage of the middle of the field. They obviously saw some things in their film study that allowed them to take advantage right there.
And Al, you know, that defense held them to a 3 and out, and then they went for it on 4th and 1, I believe, and that ultimately led them down the field and led them to that 35-yard field goal. So the Jags get on the board first, but then the Panthers respond here. They lean on Chuba Hubbard, and then we see Bryce Young's legs right there. They convert 3 first downs as they get down the field, guys, and it feels like that's what they really wanted to do in this game, is lean on Chuba.
Yeah, this offense is built around that massive offensive line and Chuba Hubbard just grinding it out and getting it done. Bryce Young utilizing his legs as a weapon that is very understated in this offense.
And then Panthers get on the board right there. Ryan Fitzgerald, 48-yard field goal. Unfortunately, guys, not too long after that is that interception. Bryce Young going for Xavier Legette, but as we see here, it just didn't happen.
It's just an unfortunate play right here. You know, that safety's kind of hiding behind XL, you know, and the linebacker came and made a really good play on that ball.
The Jags were able to convert here, get points off of that Panthers turnover. We see tight end Hunter Long, that 6-yard touchdown catch here, and I mean, unfortunately, as you look into the end zone, he's wide open there.
Yeah, it's the rushing attack that sets up the play action pass that allows Long to come free. Those linebackers, they're looking in the backfield. They're trying to stop the rushing attack.
And then we go into this 1 hour and 16-minute weather delay, which kind of stops all momentum. And, you know, you look and there's still 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. So teams come back out of that weather delay, and Travis Hunter immediately rips off this 71-yard run. Mike, what'd you see there?
Well, I see bad run fits. You know, 3 guys outside the point of attack. Outside guy tries to spill it. You know, Travis Etienne just makes a good play.
And then Jags, once again, after this run, were able to capitalize and score here. We see it with the Brian Thomas Jr. 9-yard touchdown. Al, as a defense, you know, what do you do in that situation?
Yeah, as I'm watching the replay, I'm still confused at who has the ball. This is a great play design here, KB. Just a reverse. They get it to one of their better playmakers on the outside. He finds his way with a convoy in front of him to the end zone.
And then we have Bryce Young trying to get the first down when the Panthers go back on offense with his legs. But unfortunately, Mike, the ball gets punched out, resulting in a fumble.
Yeah, this is just a result of a guy trying to make a play. You can't be mad at the effort from Bryce Young right here.
I'm glad to hear that, right? It's really big coming from you to hear that you can't be mad at him right there, and it's just someone on the other side of the ball making a great play. Cam Little gets a field goal right there. Second half, we see some great plays from the Panthers here. This J.C. Horn interception, oh my goodness, guys.
Yeah, climb the ladder. The guy got paid. He shows you exactly why. Just look at the body control, the concentration coming down with that catch. We've seen number 8 do that a number of times over his career.
I got to think that Joe Horn is proud of that one.
He's got to be proud. The hands transferred, yes.
Another great play in this game. Chuba Hubbard receiving touchdown. Certainly love to see as much of Chuba as possible, but guys, in the end, as great as this was, it just wasn't enough for the Panthers to get it done.
Absolutely, but there's definitely some good things to build on in the future for sure.
Yeah, and that is what we are going to talk about. Final score there, 26-10. Let's take a look now at the final stats. You know, there's a lot of things that stand out here, but the one thing that stood out to both of you that we are going to talk about right now is that the Jaguars had 200 yards on the ground. Al, I want to start with you on this one. You know, that was something that was a concern last year, the Panthers giving up all those rush yards. But then, you know, we get Derek Brown back. The Panthers shore up that defensive line in free agency. So what happened in this game?
Yeah, you just have to have time on task. These guys have to play more together. And right now with Derek Brown kind of being slow to go, getting back into the lineup off the injury in 2024, those guys didn't have a lot of time to be out on the field together. But you fix the run fits. Those are very coachable things that you can correct from the Carolina Panthers defense. And you'll see those linebackers play freely. They'll be able to flow downhill. They'll see where they fit into this run, this rush defense a lot better. So week one, very tough to see that. That's an alarming number. You never want to see 200 yards on the ground. But a rough start, a rough day for the defensive side.
I want to go back to one thing that you said about Derek Brown getting adjusted. We know that DB is a Pro Bowler. He set an NFL record the last season that he was healthy. But you guys were saying before we started, no matter what, no matter how good you are, it takes some time to get adjusted, even if you're Derek Brown.
It does. I broke my ankle in '99, and I probably didn't feel good until midway through the 2000 season, just because physically your body is repaired, it's ready to go. But mentally, you have to catch up to the speed and the tempo of the game, and I think you can see a little bit of that. It's knocking the rust off for Derek Brown. He didn't play many snaps in the preseason.
And Mike, as a running back, when you see those run fits aren't right, how are they able to take advantage of that, the opposing team?
Well, taking advantage of run fits is the easiest part of being a running back, because when you see daylight, we're taught as running backs, you see daylight, you hit daylight. Just on the long run by Travis Etienne, you saw that he saw the outside guy was outside of his blocker. So he put his foot in the ground, got uphill, made a guy miss, which is what you preach in the running back room. You got to make one miss. One guy is yours every time.
And so something like run fits, they're in these meetings today. How does that get corrected quickly?
It's easy because we can see it on film, right? You see it just like Mike's talking about. You see that daylight, and then you see three guys trying to make a play. One guy's responsible for the outside gap. The other two have to fill and replace, and you just didn't get that. Etienne's been a really good back in this league for a long time. He's going to make a couple of guys miss. You expect that, but very coachable, again, teachable things that you can take to the film that are going to show up right away the same way we saw it on the monitor here.
Another thing that really stood out, of course, is the turnovers. The Panthers had 3, Jaguars only had 1, and as we know, it is very hard to win the game when you lose the turnover battle. So Bryce Young was asked about that in the press conference. Here is what he had to say about those turnovers.
From the perspective of protecting the ball, how do you think you can, I mean, you're trying to make a play, you're trying to do something outside of structure. How can you protect the ball better?
Yeah, just better decision making. Obviously, can't turn the ball over like that. Cost the team. I have to be better in that, but just better decision making.
Bryce, Dave said maybe some of the guys were surprised by this performance. Were you expecting more? Were you surprised by it?
I mean, we always feel confident going in. We're always expecting to win. Obviously, didn't get that done. We'll watch the tape tomorrow. We'll learn and grow, but that confidence doesn't waver.
You said that part of the reason why you guys played in the preseason is so you could get used to like the weekly routine. Do you think that helped you coming into this game?
Yeah, they did a great job with the with the plan. It's on us to play better. It's on me to play better. It's nothing about the organization or coaches or anything like that. Got to be better.
You love to see the quarterback taking responsibility there. I want to go through those first 2. They were in the first half there. That first one was intended for Xavier Legette, and it was tipped. So when you see that one, Mike, what do you take away from it?
I think a guy in Bryce that is just trying to make a play. You know, we had our production call yesterday, and Al said something that was totally spot on, which was there's bad decisions and then there's effort. He was given effort. That wasn't a bad decision. So we can live with good effort. We can live with effort. You can't coach effort. Effort's there naturally, right? You can't live with bad decisions.
And Al?
Yeah, I think when you look at Bryce trying to make a play there, it's kind of a run-pass option for him. Should he take off? Can he take off? You see it there. It looks like a ton of green grass, but he's trying to get the ball to one of his playmakers, and that's what Bryce Young does. We just heard when he was drafted. He's that point guard. You expect him to make a play, and he kind of right there tried to force one into an area that shouldn't have gone.
And then we're taking a look on the screen of the second one. And Mike, I want to go back to something that you said as we were going back through the plays in the recap. You said you really didn't mind this fumble here. Can you talk us through that?
Yeah, so that's another instance of somebody giving a tremendous amount of effort. I mean, you're talking about 3rd down and 10, trying to give your team an opportunity to win, trying to move the chains. That's all you can ask for from anybody on the team, is to do their job. And he was trying his hardest to get that first down. And the guy on defense just made a great play. He punched the ball out perfectly.
A little peanut punch.
Yeah, Katie, you don't want to go in and coach this out of Bryce Young. When he's good, when this offense is working, it's because Bryce Young is able to get out of the pocket and move around. He understands what he's supposed to do with ball security, and he'll get that done. You can hear that in his comments. So you don't want to coach it out of Bryce Young, not to be a baller, not to go for that first down. Ball security, wrap it up. Aluaquan just made a better play. He punches it out. That time, good on good. One guy came up on the better end.
So interesting. You just say, hey, keep doing what you're doing, right?
Pretty
If
much.
you're Dave Canales talking to Bryce Young, you guys are, hey, that happens. That kind of stuff happens when you're trying to make plays. We're not worried about it if you're his teammates.
Continue to play. Continue to play. The next play is going to happen. Sun's going to come up, but you got to continue to play. Bryce Young was the #1 pick for a reason, right? There's something there. Everybody sees it. He's into his next year, and it's time to move on.
Well, speaking of something there, I want to talk about some of the bright spots in this game. And there is certainly something there between Bryce Young and Teteroa McMillan, the Panthers' first-round draft pick. Guys, to me, I'm watching that game and I think, oh, he's that guy, right? He is that guy that you drafted. And Al, I think we're starting to see the emergence just in one game of what that connection can be and why they drafted T-Mac, as he likes to be called.
Yeah, the one thing I like about T-Mac is that he is coachable. This guy is a sponge. He wants to learn, and you've kind of seen that growth in him so far. So when he gets an opportunity to just go out there and make plays, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm excited about what could be from Teteroa McMillan, just because you watch a guy that comes out, preseason early, doesn't get his head quite around on a ball. He misses that. Happens faster down in the red zone. Game 1, NFL, first NFL catch, 11 yards. That head snaps around. He knows that ball is coming before he comes out of the break. Great sign that a guy is just learning how to play the game on the run. Big expectations for the top pick.
And Mike, you said yesterday as we were talking, you said, Bryce needs that guy, especially if Adam Thielen is not here. Bryce needs that guy. And when you find that guy, you want to get him the ball as much as possible.
Absolutely. I mean, every offense has a #1 receiver, a running back to go to. Like, when you find that guy, you find that guy. Literally. Like, if we know if it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 5, and we got a pass called, I need to know where number 4 is. Right, at all times. You don't want to force it, but you also want to make sure that he gets the proper number of targets to make sure that the offense stays on schedule and the chains continue to move.
What is that proper number of targets? Do you have a number in mind that you like to see from a star receiver?
I mean, I think it's situational. Me personally, I think it's situational. You got a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", runs like a cat, and can jump out the gym. I mean, you see I think it was 4th and 5. Bryce threw the ball to him on the post. He almost pulled it in with one hand.
Yeah.
The DB made a great play,
yes.
But that's what you want. You want somebody that's going to go up and fight for that ball every time.
Yeah, there's always a guy. When I played, my iteration of our Super Bowl 38 team was number 89. It was Musa Muhammad. It could have been any number of those receivers. Then you go to maybe Mike's team with Greg Olsen as a guy that you can count on. I think T-Mac, just in week 1, has proved that when you need a play, no more Adam Thielen in this locker room. He's a guy that you can count on being at the top of his route and coming out of the break and making a play.
It's funny. I was talking to Dave Canales in the preseason, and we were talking about, man, you have all of these receivers, right? You got really just a huge crew there. And how are you going to handle all that talent? How are you going to handle all these talented guys? And he said, no. He said, it's about one guy. Our identity rests in Chuba, and it's going to rest in this #1 receiver. So who is going to emerge as that #1 and give us part of that identity on offense? And again, it's only been one game, but if you have your first-round draft pick, that's what you want to see, is him really putting his stick in the ground to say, hey, I want to be that #1 receiver. All right, we have got a lot more to talk about, and when we come back, the guys are going to get up at the board and break down some of the most pivotal plays in this game, like that one right there from J.C. Horn. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
There was a few things on the internet, and we're filming this on a pretty big day. Like, I think TEU sort of just clinched the Taylor Travis.
Yeah, I think
that was what did it,
so
right?
The rumor was that they were on the fence about whether or not they wanted to like make their relationship official, and after they had such a blast with all of us in Nashville at TEU, they said, you know what, this is the right move. We're going to get married. So
that's right.
We think TEU might be the host, the main presenting sponsor of the wedding. We're working on the details.
I love the idea that a wedding has a presenting sponsor, and I love that TEU's got a good.
We're in the running.
Yeah.
Like us, Vogue.
You and I have actually been to a wedding that I think had a presenting sponsor.
That was a great time. Shout out Christian McCaffrey.
And
Olivia, you were part of it too.
They were there. She was kind of the show. Christian was there.
Yeah, Christian was there.
He looked great.
They both looked great.
They
They were a
both looked
very
fantastic.
beautiful, beautiful couple.
All right, Mike T, we've been waiting to see this offense. Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers, Week 1, Jacksonville. Tell me what you see here from this group.
Yeah, so as we take it to the board, man, you're going to see the first drive here with Bryce Young. This is what we thought the team was going to look like coming out, right? Giving the ball to your stud, giving the ball to Chuba Hubbard. You see right here, we give the ball to him 2 straight times, right? Put us in a manageable third down, right? We got to be able to keep those chains moving. All right, so now we're at 3rd and 2, getting ready to come up. Bryce Young gets ready to drop back. Right here. He's looking. As you can tell, you can see the combination right here. He's looking. There's nothing. He uses his legs, which he does so well, gets out of bounds, first down, keep those chains moving.
And that's a killer for a defense. You want to get off the field, but you got a guy that's not going to stand in the pocket, Mike. He's going to escape. It's big for the Carolina Panthers in this offense.
Absolutely. But, as a defense, you want to keep contained. But as a guy that's as athletic as Bryce Young, you got to be able to get outside the ball. Now, right here, you see Chuba. He's just going to run in between those tackles, man. He's continuing to run the 4th and 1, get downhill, get that first down.
And Chuba's an incredible running back, man. The power of that offensive line, I think that's been the strength of this team in 2024, and we're seeing it again here early in the season.
Absolutely. One thing right here, this is an incredible play. We talked about it earlier with T-Mac getting the ball and getting his head around. But if we go back just a little bit, as you see it, I'm going to stop it right here. I want to point out something to you, Al. Look at Bryce. Look what he did. He moved his running back all the way up into that A-gap because he sees double A-gap mug right here. And watch the protection right here by Rico Dow. Watch that protection. That gives Bryce the time to get the ball up. Boom. Stuffs it right in there. Great play. Great pickup on that 3rd down.
And the rookie we saw, maybe miss a pass in the red zone, his first opportunity in a preseason game. He gets it right. Boom. Head around. Finds the ball, makes the catch. Welcome to the NFL.
I mean, that's all you can ask is a guy that's continuing to learn right here. As you see, we give the ball to our stud again now. First down, we get 6 yards on the first play. We're trying to stay ahead of the chains, keep it moving. That's what Chuba Hubbard's been able to do for us for so long.
Yeah, those are heavy runs as a defensive player, man. That constant pounding early in the football game, it takes its toll on the legs. Well, let's take a look at our defense right here. We had some positives. These are the corners, the secondary. Mike Jack brought in late here to the Carolina Panthers last year. Man, does he make plays. Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter, who we'll see in this football game, really good playmakers. And again, if you're going to play corner in the NFL, you got to come up and run support. I know, Mike, that looks like a pass, but you got to be physical. You come up, take on the block. Mike Jackson is proving that he is a big-time NFL cornerback.
Absolutely. Now, the importance of being a cornerback or defensive back that tackles in the NFL is huge because you see somebody like myself coming around that edge, you got to come up and make a play. So our defensive backs are doing a great job right here.
Yeah, you got to make a business decision right there. Let's take a look at one of the young guys, Shaw Smith-Wade right here, corner, playing nickel. The young guy is making plays. You talk about good footwork, attacking the downhill hip, hand across, making sure you secure the tackle. That's how you get it done from a second-year football player that's starting at nickel here for the Carolina Panthers.
Absolutely. And you'll see right here on this play, Al, when you got a dude, he's got to be a dude.
He's got to be a guy. And you're talking about the $100 million man right there, J.C. Horn. We're going to get him right on some of the yak. We just need the ball back. We don't need him to return it. But let's take a look at the back of this play right here and just get a better view of JC. He is supposed to, Mike, be covering this corner, right? It's probably a 2 deep. They're running a smash concept. There's a little curl right here. You can see Brian Thomas Jr. And as we play this, you see Travis Hunter. He's kind of running around in the back. He's headed on that 7 route. Then JC just climbs the ladder. He goes up one hand, makes this play. Look at the vert. Look at the vert. Man, that's incredible. I haven't been that athletic in about 25 years. So, J.C. Horn, the real deal, big-time cornerback making plays here for the Carolina Panthers. It's just a beautiful thing, and you love to see a guy go out there, compete with the challenges of those great receivers for Jacksonville week one. Well, Mike, we had Dave Canales. He went to the podium. A lot of things he knows he needs to clean up, very teachable things. Let's take a look in here, listen to hear what Dave Canales had to say.
All right, that's a picture of where we're at right now. Obviously not good enough. You know, the turnovers, the explosive plays. I thought our tackling was not great. We let a couple of plays out that, you know, we had stopped, you know, essentially for nothing. And, you know, we let them get through to the second level. You know, I think anytime you have 4 turnovers in a game, you give, you know, an offense with a bunch of weapons more opportunities. You know, this is the outcome. This is what happens here. I'm proud of the guys for finishing. I'm proud of them for continuing to play. But they know as well as I know that's not good enough. But it was a good chance to just look at them in the eye and say, look, this is where we are at right now. And we got to look at the tape. We have to grow from this. We have to take care of the basic things that we've been working on and just take a next step this week. So, but certainly disappointed in how we played today, especially with all the things that we emphasize.
All right, listening to what Dave Canales said right there, I want to start with the tackling. All defenders take pride in that. So when your head coach calls you out for that, I mean, you could see it on the tape. How do you handle that as a defense?
Yeah, you own it. You own it. That's the first thing you do as a defender. You say, hey, we got to get better. And the way you get better is you go out and you practice tackling. And I know in today's version of training camp, you try to keep those big bodies, the contact, the collision off one another. So you really start to get this full tackling takedown to the ground in week one. And it's a learning curve, and I think you get that out of your system really early. But this is about effort. It's about getting in the right spot. It helps. We talked about run fits to get in the right position, but you got to own this one. That's on film. You got to sign your name on it, and the Panthers will be better. That defense will be better.
Mike, they have something here called Tell the Truth Monday, right, where they look at the film and they go back through everything. If you're a veteran in that locker room, how does everyone take responsibility? How do you inspire your teammates? But also, as you said, this is just game one, right? There's a lot of season to be played, and you players know that. You're like, it's okay. Like, we'll all just calm down a little bit. So how do you balance that, taking responsibility, but also saying, hey, look, we got a lot of season left?
Well, I think it's the competitive nature of players in general, right? You're going to look in the mirror. You're going to look at yourself and say, hey, like Al said, own it. Mm-hmm. I messed up. I did this. This is where I could have been better, right? And then you go to work today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you try to get better. And you make sure that you have a point of emphasis at practice and in walkthroughs and in meetings to make sure that, hey, I'm going to fit the run the right way. I'm going to make sure I block and put my helmet on the right side. I'm going to do the things that I need to do to make sure that I give my team the best chance at winning on Sunday. And if that happens across the board, all 11 players, you have more quality plays than bad plays, then you have a better chance of winning.
And certainly another opportunity here coming up this week in Arizona. And as we said, just plenty of opportunities in the season to go ahead and fix those little things that led to that result. All right, let's take a look at the game results from the NFC South. So, you know, the Panthers lose this one, of course, to the Jags. But, you know, you hate to see, you want to root for other teams to lose too. But if you take a look at these standings, right, you've got Tampa Bay defeating Atlanta on that last second, you know. So that game came down to the wire, 23-20 here. TB outlasts the Falcons. And then you go over in Arizona, defeating New Orleans 20-13. So Tampa Bay 1-0 in the division, guys. Other 3 teams 0-1. I mean, could be worse, right?
Yeah, you got to find a way to get to Tampa. They've built something really good down there. I think 5 straight years, or they're going for the 5th straight year of winning the NFC South. That is going to be a new record for this division. But Atlanta is talented, and those expectations are there. I don't like either one of them, Mike. I don't know about you, so it's fine if they all lose those games. But you can see how talented this division has become.
Yeah, I'm not a fan at all. I can't lie to you. I'm not a fan at all. But these teams are quality football teams, as you can see right here. The Saints are getting ready to look like they're going to do something, but you never know. They ultimately end up losing this game, but we'll see Arizona next week.
We will see Arizona next week, and then Atlanta the week after that. That's the first home game here at Bank of America Stadium, that division rivalry. Such an important game for the Panthers. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on the NFC South next week, and as we go along, we'll be checking in every single week on those results. All right, I want to talk about Monday night. We're going to do a fun little segment. We're going to be keeping track of it every week. We're going to ask you guys to pick the Monday night matchup. You got the Vikings at the Bears. And I just want to say, before we get your picks, you guys will be doing the road games. Then we have another crew doing the home games, and that consists of Jonathan Stewart and Thomas Davis. Now, at the end of the season, we're going to compare here individual records, and then also I think we got to have team road versus team home. So pressure is on. I know you guys are competitive. Mike, I want to start with you. Who is winning? Vikings at Bears. Who you got?
Well, to start this year off Monday night, right, and get my league going, I'm going with the Bears.
Okay.
Bears at home, Caleb Williams in his second year. I think he's going to do something special.
Our good friend DJ Moore there as well.
Exactly.
We know what a talented receiver he is. All right, Al, your turn. Where are you going?
Yeah, give me the Bears.
Okay.
Yes,
Give me
sir.
Ben Johnson, the mastermind, coming from the Detroit Lions to Chicago to get Caleb Williams right. You talked about my former Terp, DJ Moore, get him going. Roma Dunze, really talented young wide receiver crew. I think the defense got better at the end of the season. They just need to take care of the ball. We're going to see what the rookie has, but so many unknowns with J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears in their building.
We are going to be watching that game closely, of course. Hopefully it'll be as exciting game as Sunday Night Football. Oh my gosh, we walked in here and we're talking about that. All right, stick with us all this week. We have got plenty coming up for you. We'll see you again on Wednesday. That is going to be a lot of fun. Our midweek show, I'll be joined by Trey Boston. Of course, we have the Panthers Huddle with Thomas Davis. And then we'll see you guys next Monday as well as we wrap up another postgame show after that win in Arizona. Right, guys?
You got to get it done.
Got to get it.
That's right. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us on our first ever Panthers postgame show. Mike, Al, this was amazing. Thank you both.
KB, thank you for having me.
All right. We'll see you next week, guys.